Hello everyone, and welcome to yet another incredible solo episode of Pokemon A to Z. This time, it's episode 23, and I have been a bit busy between study and work, and just kind of everything. So, here we come, 10 minutes past 5 PM on the day of the upload for a lovely episode. Today, we finally get through the absolute gauntlet that has wound up being Basculin. So, the reason that there are 4 Basculin-related videos in a row is because I had some, oddness in terms of there weren't exactly an even number of Pokemon. So I decided to do both Basculin forms. What I had not contemplated was that both Basculation forms would also be in there, and that these 4 would be in a row. So, we'll be going through this one. It does have a form difference with this Reckless version, and it's so they've got different move pools as well as ability to this one, but they do have different abilities between them. And what I would like to contemplate with this version of Basculin, well, I suppose I'll get into. I should also mention the other Pokemon that we're featuring today finally finished the letter U, and are into an entirely new section with the letter T. So, Tyranitar. These Pokemon do not immediately seem to have synergy. I have no further comment. So yes, Basculin, we have talked about it and its move pool and options right now. I think the main set that I want to contemplate on this video, where we've explored previously choice band sets, life orb sets, and really just ones designed to take advantage of your other Pokemon supporting them and getting them to good positioning, as well as the Swift Swim set. What I would like to do with the Basculin this time is to take advantage of how it can help position to your other Pokemon. So Final Gambit, of a fairly solid 70 base health stat, as well as being the second fastest Final Gambiter in the format. So, if we look at it here, speed-wise, no, that's not true. I forgot the Dug's also there, but they don't have particularly good health stats. The good 70 base health stat on Basculin allows it to use Final Gambit, as well as you can theoretically take advantage of the ability Rockhead to use Wave Crash without taking Recoil, so you can still preserve that Final Gambit health. Personally, I think they should make it so that Recoil should make Final Gambit not take any damage on yourself, but it's how it is. I think there's probably some limited argument for Mold Breaker. Nothing really comes to mind as a particularly strong sturdy user in the current format. Though if you're playing in formats where, for example, Magnezone is one which has been popular in some previous formats, if you're playing in a format where there's something worth considering, it's definitely worth considering a Mold Breaker in a matchup. The Basculesians and the Basculin White Stripe do not have access to Final Gambit, which is interesting to note as well. But yeah, I think the main item you want to pair with this is generally Choice Scarf, and you'll be looking for this, max speed, max HP version. And yeah, definitely some argument for adaptability, though I do want to try and see if we can position to get a Wave Crash off, and then without then taking that recoil, be able to get a Final Gambit off. I do think that Terra Ghost is probably the call, just to be able to play around Fake Out. So, in terms of particularly good water resist in the current format, a Shifu and a Mungus, you can hit both of them with Psychic Fangs, and then a lot of the rest of the good water resist in the format, you've got Gyarados and Dragonite that you can hit with Head Smash, and you'll probably do decent damage to Roaring Moon with it as well. So we'll run Head Smash, because it does also have that Rockhead synergy, and I'll probably put the 4 into attack. Now, something that is valuable about this speed stat is that you are faster than a Shifu, and most Urshifu's do not run a crazy amount of health. So here we hit 177, and they hit 175, so if they have no bulk, you can one-hit KO them with it, or you can take advantage of Sandstream to get that extra chip. Now, I may have noticed that I've been using a very significant amount of Rillaboom in recent episodes. I tried to keep them only to 2 and 10, but I may have used a third one. It just is a Pokemon that I feel allows you to make a lot of interesting decisions, and it does have some real set diversity. But I will not be doing that as much in this particular episode. So the other Pokemon, you know, with Sand, you definitely, I think, incline towards running a Sand Abuser. So something that I had thought of is that Houndstone can take advantage of this final Gambit to get a boosted Last Respects. Oh, sorry, I was talking about Tyranitar. Sorry, yeah, that's right, there's two Pokemon. So Tyranitar has Sandstream and Unnerve. Now, this Pokemon is seeing some pretty historically low usage in this current format, partially because Sand is not very good, partially because it doesn't synergize well with Terastallization, because if you aren't Terastallizing into a Rock type, you lose the Sand Special Defense boost, which is what makes this 100-100 feel absolutely impossible to kill. Its speed tier is very awkward. It doesn't really fit into slow modes of teams, and doesn't really fit into fast modes of teams, and it doesn't fit particularly well on screens because you're chipping down the other Pokemon with Sand, and its Dragon Dance set is not particularly impressive, but it is definitely a usable Pokemon. But yeah, the Pokemon with good typing, some of them work really well with Terra, and some of them do not work particularly well with Terra, and Tyranitar, I think, has one of those typings that struggles to work well with Terra. Obviously there's still the offensive advantage of Tyranitar's defenses, but because it has so many of these weaknesses, it's very likely that whatever type you're clicking Terra into, you will retain one of these weaknesses, and it's pretty unlikely that you'll be able to get like a good crossover of having multiple useful resists to a type. I think Psychic is really the only type where you have like multiple resists that are consistently getting advantage, and then, you know, it's like and then maybe Grass with the Fire and Flying, but then in both of those situations you would still maintain that Bug weakness, which, while not crippling in the current format, isn't great, and neither of them, sorry, and only the Psychic one gives you that Fighting resist, and then Grass gives you that Ground resist, both of which are decent, but not game winning by any means. I guess Terra Water in that sense might be the best option. Apparently Terra Blast is one of this Pokemon's most common moves, which I believe is Grass. Apparently, yes, its most common set on 0.97% of teams is Choice Band, and then Assault Vest, and then Weakness Policy. In current format, Weakness Policy. That is interesting. No usage of the other item, which is escaping my mind. The Sand thing, which I guess makes sense. Some limited Unnerve usage as well. This is maybe niche use case for draft, where you have a Pokemon with a Focus Sash you'd prefer not to have broken. But yes, the Stone Edge, very strong. You could access to Power Gem this generation, so you can take advantage of that 95 special attack, though I believe it still does not have Nasty Plot. Yeah, no, it doesn't. But it has a real wide range of coverage, which makes it very suitable for like a draft sort of format, though I believe it went undrafted at 16 in both formats, where you see even Hippo went undrafted at 12, because, you know, you start taking, so the other Sand effects, so if we look at Sand Veil and Sand Rush and Sand Force, we see all three of them have this immunity to Sandstorm tag with it. Sandstream does not come with that, so that is a limitation both Tyranitar and Hippo face, where if you are trying to use Terra, and you're not terraing into a Ground, Rock, or Steel type, then you're not getting advantage of not only the special defense in the case of Tyranitar, but you're also taking damage from your own Sand. So that is definitely a limitation that Tyranitar and Hippo face, which is why I think they struggle to be enticing options at the prices where you know, there may have been in previous formats without Terastallization. I think they translated uniquely poorly to Terastallization. Yeah, Tyranitar and Hippo undrafted at 16 and 12, both certainly not breaking the bank in both of the formats. Yeah, just very difficult Pokemon to fit because of their negative interactions with Focus Ashes, and like other teams don't mind terraing into Ground or Steel anyways, and in some situations into Rock, so you may not even get the ability to break the opponent's Focus Sash in those situations. I believe I recently ran a Focus Sash Terra Ground Slazzle, for example, and that was without even the sand incentive there. Yes, so that was strong. And the other thing that was strong at one point, Pursuit was a reasonable option on it. But yeah, really just like the Dragon Dance, Crunch, and Stone Edge set, because this Pokemon used to be very difficult to get KOs into. Though I think that is just not as true in the current format, I think. Obviously, the Shifus make it very difficult. This Pokemon is okay into Flutter Mane, but it really struggles into Iron Hands, it really struggles into Amoonguss. Intimidate has always been something it's struggled with, so Glitter Amulet is a decent option. Chien-Pao running Sacred Sword is really not great for it. And I really honestly can't think of too many super prevalent Sash users that don't threaten it with the one-hit KO. So I think that's really where a lot of the issues are. The tempo is just really the wrong shape for Tyranitar, especially with Prosynthesis incentivizing more and more teams to run Sun if they wanted to run a Weather. Pelipper and Torkoal both being very, very good in this format, and then Tyranitar struggling as a result because it has a negative matchup into Rain and a fairly neutral to negative matchup into Sun because of the fact it loses special defense boost, and Sun often pairs with very strong special type special or physical, but grass type attackers. I think that with this version, I would probably consider running. Oh, that's right, it's Rock Polish. It's not Swords Dance, it's Rock Polish. It also doesn't appear to learn Rock Polish in this format, but it used to. It might still learn Autotomize. No, not even that. Okay. I don't know if this this Pokemon is the shape that allows it to run that Rock Polish set that well. I guess Assurance is good paired with like a spread move. So that's an option. I'm seeing like a lot of usage alongside Tatsdozo for one thing. Heatran Sylveon. I don't think this is the Tatsdozo team simply because of Basculin. Yeah, so really weird mons paired with it. So yeah, I definitely think that Houndstone is going to be on this team. I think probably alongside it we maybe want a Trick Room setter and then run this Choice Band version. That's right, they're all running Terra Flying. So Rock Slide. I think I'm going to trend to Crunch over Insurance, just because the idea is that this final Gambit is picking off one of the two Pokemon, and then Tyranitar is able to KO the other. And then Rock Slide allows it to pick up if we're doing like a 80% in a particular matchup. And then, yeah, there's the Terra Blast Flying, still reasonable as a decision. And then there's options for Low Kick, options for Ice Punch, options for Earthquake. I think all of them are okay. None of them are super appealing to me. How heavy is Iron Hands? Is that what Low Kick's for? Yeah, I suppose it is. I don't think I will be running minus speed, but I do think we'll be maybe trending this towards a team which does have a Trick Room setter. And probably not running a lot of speed in that situation. It's not a super contested speed tier at 60, right? I clicked special defense, not speed. No, I did click speed. Okay, cool. So at 60, you have Grimmsnarl, who often doesn't run speed, Abomasnow, who often runs min speed, Fairy, who runs min speed, Goodra. The Goodra, it's probably worth running some speed for. And Low Kick does also give you a better matchup into it, unless it terrors, and then Crunch gives you a decent matchup into it. So I think I may run just the 4 EVs here in speed, just because it means that it'd be less contested by the base 60s, because there are some that are pretty reasonable in this format. Yeah, apparently Houndstone has some very low usage in the current format, which is not shocking because it's not very good. But we are trying to see if we can make this team work, so I say we try to see if we can make this team work. Life Orb. Apparently see some usage of Fluffy. Yeah, I guess you can just kind of run the supportive option of Wisp and Protect, and then you just take... The idea is that with this Life Orb and probably Terra Fairy, but with this Life Orb, the Last Respect should be able to be getting some really relevant one-hit KOs after Basculin has gone down. Hopefully. That's supposed to be attack invested. To memory, I believe you don't need to go Jolly in the current format. So yes, I think we do want a Trick Room setter. Nothing comes immediately to mind as a particularly appealing option. I think you do want like a water check of some form. Honestly, this is the sort of team that maybe Heatran feels like it'd be good on as like a mon that contributes to that mid-range, but you do want a Trick Room setter to sit next to Basculin. So you probably don't mind if they lose to Taunt, you probably prefer them to be a Ghost type so they can't be faked out. Or to have Inner Focus. It could be Oranguru. Oranguru is definitely not a terrible option. Poltergeist is probably a bit fast. Yeah, I think I'm probably leaning towards the Inner Focus Oranguru. As always, Terra Fairy. From Mental Herb on it. And then get the idea is you have Trick Room. You have Instruct. You have Terra Blast. And then the Terra Blast allows you to be either a normal attack without Terra or a fairy attack with Terra, which is good flexibility. And it can really allow you to get the advantage up on a Shifu. Now, what is the net deck spread? Okay, it's a pretty mixed defensive one. It's the most popular version of the spread. Apparently Safety Goggles is very popular, and you know what? That does make a lot of sense to me. Apparently there's actually not a lot of Terra Blast usage. There's a lot of Raw Psychic, though I do think I like Terra Blast, because I'm kind of scared of Dark Shifu at this point. And apparently Encore is the best last move, so I will defer to the Sassy. Yeah, it is special defense. I thought it was. That's meant to be 76. Okay. Now, I think I want a fast special attacker. Let's go back to the funny speed thing. I don't think it's Regieleki. I think Regieleki is maybe not the right type of fast. I don't think it's Spec because I'm already kind of sucker weak. Is it Regieleki? Could try out Greninja, but I think I'm currently leaning towards just doing the best I can with Regieleki. But Sash is really bad with Tyranitar on the team, so maybe that is a concern. Could do Taunty. Taunty was pretty reasonable last time we tried using it. I think anything slower than this is probably past where I'm looking for, so I think I'll try another Taunty. I did think it was pretty fun when I used it with, I believe, Tay. And, you know, Blake Winds, Tailwinds, Icy Winds, Protect. Taunt is also a consideration. I think I went towards Covert Cloak. I think maybe I'd go for Wide Lens this time, just to mix it up a little. It's possible we also did that last time. And then I believe there's a spread which is specifically designed to take, I think it's a Shifu with the 116 health. We probably need a little bit more as a result of sand. It is unfortunately something that our Pokemon are affected by as well. Oh, actually, no, the Pokemon I should be using, Thundurus with Sand Force. You know, may as well take advantage of that ability while I have it. And honestly, I am probably pretty tempted to run. Wow, this Pokemon's moveset's really awkward. Wide Lens on this as well. And then, so Great Ground Resist in the format. The first Pokemon that comes to mind is obviously not Ground, yeah, Tornadus and Landorus themselves. So I could go for a Terra Rock version, though I probably would prefer it to be a Terra that resists Ice, so I think I'll go Terra Water. I could do Terra Steel. No, I'd be too weak to ground at that point. So I think I do throw Terra Blast on this team. I think I do throw Psychic on this team. I think I do throw Protect on this team. Because I don't believe you learn Tailwind. You do not. So, got a reasonably fast Pokemon. I probably want another reasonably fast Pokemon. But in this situation, like, I'd be able to Final Gambit a Basculin and then still be able to threaten the partner Pokemon. Though without Sandforce, it's obviously... Without Sand Up, Sandforce is less good. So, may not be able to get that Final Gambit Basculin next to Landorus, or it may be less effective because of Sand. I think I probably want Fake Out in the last slot. I think I'm trending towards having a more actual water resist sort of Pokemon, if that's an option. Not Rillaboom, no, please. Please stop making a pure Rillaboom. Could try Toxicroak, though. Don't know how I feel about that. Stop Grim. I don't think it's Goth either. Maybe it's not Fake Out. I don't think it's a Mungus, right? I guess a Mungus is pretty good in the Trick Room version of this team. I don't have a... Oh no, I do have quite a good Flying Resist. I don't know if I'll Flutter Mane check. Yeah, it probably is a Mungus. And yes, it's still Helmet, even though I'm trying to use it to check Flutter Mane. Just kind of good move, right? Probably Clear Smork on this one. I don't think this is quite the Leaf Storm version, but I definitely do think this is a Clear Smork. I think it might be Terrafire. Kinda Ground Weak, but not crazy Ground Weak. If I'm concerned about being too Ground Weak as well, I can run Ice Punch for Landorus. But I don't currently feel like that's necessary. Okay, apparently only runs 236. 156 and 116. Plus and minus. So, let's see how this team fares on the ladder. I'm just like making sure that I've actually recorded. Yeah, solo episodes will be coming from time to time when there's just not super much availability, whether it be from like some collection of myself and my beloved friends and colleagues. Okay, they've immediately put on timer. I kind of want to lead Tyranitar Houndstone, but that feels really bad into a Torn version of a lead. Also, Houndstone is most likely slower than Regieleki. I still think I go for it though. Tyranitar, Houndstone, and then probably Basculin and Landorus in the back. Interesting. So I am very, very inclined to Terra Fairy play rough the Regitrago, though I may not need the Terra Fairy. I do need the Terra Fairy, and crunch the Farigiraffe. Okay, they went for Protect there. Interesting. Okay, does Taunt come out? I mean, taking Sand Chip even is enough to reduce the sustain on Regidrago. Okay, Taunt does come out. I think I just throw this Crunch into Regidrago and this Play Rough into Regidrago. Okay. Oh, I'm still faster. No attack drop? What is this? And this Crunch may even KO. Not quite. Now I throw the Crunch into Torn. Okay, well they just concede. I was going to throw the Last Respects into Regidrago. Though there was definitely an argument for going the other way around. I actually don't know why I would throw Last Respects over Play Rough. Last Respects is only 50 base power. I just don't want to miss, so I think I do still go with Last Respects in that situation. Now, that Torn probably dies to Crunch. That's good news. Certainly with Sand. Unless it's quite bulky, it's probably dead with 2 ticks of sand. This is an interesting team for my opponent. I think my reads are not very different, though I could do a Trick Room version of the lead, where we go Basculin Oranguru, though I don't think Basculin Oko's Garchomp. Okay, it does Oko Sandy Shocks, which is nice, but doesn't work if they're speed boost. Sandy Shocks also doesn't stop me setting up Trick Room. Final Gambit does Oko and DD. I think I'll try the Trick Room version of the lead. Okay, this is the Gravnosis team. The clicking Gravity and Hypnosis. I don't know which Pokemon they're going for Hypnosis into. I think either way I want to go for Final Gambit into Sandy Shocks and Trick Room. Okay, now they do get the Hypnosis off, which isn't super surprising. I should have gone for it into a Spathra because it wouldn't have then it wouldn't have gotten the Hypnosis off. That was a bad play. That was definitely a bad play. I knew that it KO'd a Spathra as well. Though they do run Sash. I'm pretty tempted to go for a Terra here, though I just go to sleep, right? I think I just throw a Crunch into a Spathra and go for Trick Room. If I wake up, I think I can win. I think if I wake up, if I don't wake up, I probably lose. Okay, Terra doesn't do anything because of Gravity, so I go into Amoonguss and I go for Trick Room. They're going to heal up the Orthworm, ideally. I don't know if Oranguru dies. It does not. It does get Trick Room up. I think I would need to wake up though, which is the problem. These moves do not help because Pollen Puff goes through. So I Spore the Orthworm and I Terra Blast the Garchomp. Don't really have a better play, right? What's the last turn of Gravity? I guess if I live an Earthquake, I can try and win on Crunches. I feel very unlikely to beat Orthworm with that play, but I need to live an Earthquake and then just be continuously immune to it. I need to get the turn 1 Wake. Yeah, I think I should have Final Gambited the Spathra 100% of the time there. I think that was a really bad play, going for the Final Gambit into Sandy Shocks. Though it obviously, yeah, may well still be Sash. I could have made plays around to keep Tyranitar alive, because if it was Sash, it would have died to Sandchip. And I would have Trick Room. No, I wouldn't have Trick Room if I was slapped, but could have gone Amoonguss in the back. Okay. I've lived one. I mean, it needs to be Crunch, right? Okay. I didn't even wake up. There must be Choice Band, right? Probably should have attacked the Orthworm. Yeah, I think they're Choice Band. Oh, well, that was cool. They used a fun team. let's hope to make it back towards 1400. This definitely seems like a Houndstone lead, but then the Houndstone needs to be faster than their Pokemon, which isn't super likely, so I guess it's a Trick Room lead then, just as a result. Like the Basculin, Oranguru, Tyranitar, Amoonguss team. It's also probably correct to be leading the Amoonguss instead of the Basculin, but if I have Sand up, then Houndstone is way too fast. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's just the problem. That problem would be that Houndstone is too fast in that situation. I don't know why people put timer on when they haven't clicked buttons. I find that just to be, like, particularly, like, obnoxious. It's like, oh, I'm the one timer stalling, but I'll also put timer on to pretend like I'm not. I think the Goldengo, I think I'm dead. So what way am I most likely not to be dead? Final Gambiting the Chi-Yu. It's not like the Chi-Yu not being Scarf or being Scarfed slower than Basculin, which is possible. It's certainly possible, it's modest. Does Chi-Yu die to Gambit? Yes, it does. Also does to Wave Crash. I should Wave Crash it. I'm going to Wave Crash and Trick Room. Okay. I assume they make it rain. They do in fact go for Make It Rain. I actually would have lived if I did Terra, though I'm not terroring when I'm trying to kill Chi-Yu. Obviously I would have died with Beta Ruin. I could, depending on what comes in, I could always, okay, I'm not going to count that. I could always instruct the Wave Crash as well. Is an option. Oh, okay, this is an interesting version of a team. I think I'm going Tyranitar Houndstone in this matchup. And then following up with Basculin and Landorus because they're the fast mode Pokemon. Though there could be definitely an argument made for Amoonguss instead. This version of the team, it definitely is pretty Corviknight weak. I don't really have a good way to hit it until something dies. And like Final Gambit is not doing a lot here. Seriously, don't click, like if you don't have auto timer on, don't manually click timer if you haven't decided on what you're going to do. Right, yes, this is obviously not a great position for me to be in. So I think I Rock Slide and Play Rough the Baxcalibur. Yeah, Terra Steel, of course. What? You know what? I should have guessed that they would be Terra Steel. Swords Dance, even. I mean, I just want to get Lando in, basically. I could sack Basculin. They're safety goggles. I think I honestly just double attack here. I don't think they're super likely to go for an attack that KOs both of my Pokemon. I'm just going to Play Rough the Mousehold as well. Interesting. Pretty awkward miss, but probably not one that mattered a whole lot. So definitely think I switch in Basculin. And Wisp does nothing. So I guess I protect Houndstone. Dental Exchange is a very strong ability. They went for Hydro Pump. And they crit me. That's very rude. Why would you crit me? So I think I Wave Crash. And that kind of makes me just want to Terra Lost Respects. They went for Ice Shard. That's just rude. Oh, there's 2 here. Cool. Do I die to Hurricane? No. Sand is in. How much did Rock Slide do? 16? That's not enough. I crunch and I protect. Of course they hit Hydro. I just missed a Rock Slide earlier. That's no problem. Really? Oh, this is not good. Yeah, the Aqua Jet comes out. They just, if they hit Hydra, the game is very, very over. And the game's pretty over anyways. Assuming they have Aqua Jet. If they don't, I would be surprised. Honestly, I forgot that it was showing as the wrong one. Okay. Landulosu. I mean, I go for Psychic. I hope Aqua Jet doesn't KO. Then they miss. And then I can somehow break it. Break Pelipper. The Psychic doesn't even KO. Yeah. Okay, maybe the Sandseer Storm bit of this team was not thought out very well. God, it feels obnoxious. Whisper's not a helpful move. It's helpful into some limited matchups. I was specifically thinking it could be good into like Iron Hand and like Lando T. But just having Body Press would have been significantly better. Like just having good damage is helpful. I think I will just go for one more game. Just because this is quite a short video as it stands. And Tatsdozo. I think this is the Wolf team, right? I might just go for Tyranitar Houndstone with Lando in the back. Okay, so I believe they are faster than me. I 100% want to just Terra and double this Screamtail. I don't really show many special attackers, so I'm surprised Tinglu came at lead. But I guess it also does blank most good physical attackers. Okay, now please Banded Crunch and plus Sand get the KO. Okay. They Sand Tuned. Yeah, that's not shocking. So is this maybe Tatsu coming in then? Like my default thought would be Gothitelle, but it seems like it may not be. Yeah, okay, it is, so Wisp would have been nice. I don't think I can afford to go Lando in this slot. So am I going Basculin? I think I might be. Yeah, that's what we expect. The question is, what do they go for? They go for Order Up. It's attack boosting. Well, I'm probably faster, but I took the Order Up into my Basculin instead of taking it into my Tyranitar. What is the most consistent damage into Dondozo at this point? Final Gambit, so I'll go for it. Oh, actually, that just kind of dooms my Tyranitar to dying, right? Oh no, it takes nothing. Wow, that's shocking. Oh, and I got a very unnecessary crit. Plus it still has its last turn of Perish Song, so I can switch it out. Oh, they played this game in an interesting fashion. I think I just lost respects to Tatsu, just get it off the field. I feel pretty confident to be able to beat Tinglu with the Banded Low Kick and Lando. Oh, that didn't KO. I guess I've only had one KO on my end. Oh, they're quite bulky. Interesting. So I think I just Sandseer Storm, and I think Play Rough is marginally stronger at this point. I imagine the Sandseer Storm will pick up from 16. It does. And it's Burns. Because I am the funny one. Yeah, Lom. That's right. That's true. That is what they were running. I mean, I think I just sense. Oh, okay. So yeah, there you go. That's how you beat the Wolfey team. Just just let them not play it very well. I think people are. Oh, I played this on the wrong account because I'm playing myself. Sorry, because I'm not playing this. Because I forgot this part of like the setup. I normally am like, oh yeah, and make sure that you're on the Mancini A to Z account. I was not on the Mancini A to Z account. I was wondering why people's other ratings were so low. But yes, my apologies for that, guys. Ultimately, I think that Tyranitar is very difficult to fit in draft at the current point. There's probably definitely like there's some argument to running like Houndstone and then probably Lycanroc over the Oranguru version of this team, because the speed control from Sand is very good, and it's really only Sun you're contested with, and you're okay, not amazing, but okay into Sun. I'm surprised that there's no safety goggles Tyranitars, but I guess that's because they switched up to Lilligant H, which has fighting moves for it. Basculin is still okay. As always, it's okay. It can do a range of things, and it can do most of those things reasonably well. Yeah. Ultimately, thank you guys all for watching. This is, honestly was quite fun. You know, I do prefer having co-hosts on, but more than happy to go on my own from time to time. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Please leave a comment down below. Goodbye.